Hey guys, Gotham Geek here. This past weekend, I got to hang out with the New York Avengers at Cradle-Con, Long Island's nonprofit comic collectible and pop culture convention. Cradle-Con is a Cradle of Aviation's own celebration of all things comic book culture. The Avengers of New York are a nonprofit organization created by a group of Marvel-inspired cosplayers for charity events and hospital visits. Here's some footage of their awesome panel at Cradle-Con as they discuss the life of cosplay.
Always about cosplay, and now it's one of the biggest attractions for people to come to a convention, and that has been so important in our lives.
Cosplay is about being whoever you want. If you want to be Wonder Woman and you don't feel like you look like Wonder Woman, you can be Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to be Thor and you don't have a body like Thor, you can be Thor in game. I'm kidding. No, but you can be Thor. That's the beauty about cosplay. It's not about how fit you are or how beautiful you are. It's about how much you love the character, and people put their heart into the costume of the character that they love.
Change their life for the better. And absolutely, when kids run up and think you're actually Black Widow, I mean, like, how much cooler could you feel in life?
Yeah,
that's true.
Exactly.
I've always loved acting and I've always loved costume design, but I feel like for the first time I found something that could take both of my passions and sort of put them into one area, and for me that was huge. Just blew my mind, really. And I think that when I explore a new character, or maybe a character that I have cosplayed before, I feel like I learn more about myself, and I learn more about the qualities in that character that make me feel like that character.
I think it's probably a commonality between all of us. If your first con is New York Comic Con, you're screwed. You're gonna be cosplaying for the rest of your life. I've been a performing arts geek all my life. Makeup and costume design, stage design, anything that I could do in the performing arts sector, I've done it. And like Rebecca was saying, like, you marry all these things that you have in your arsenal of skills, and you get cosplay. I mean, whether that's something that I love, public speaking and teaching, whether that's actually crafting, doing things for nonprofits and charities. It's so expansive and so comprehensive that no matter what kind of geek, no matter what kind of nerd you are, there's something for you here.
And my first cosplay was Elsa, and that completely changed my life because I got to meet so many children, and I actually was Elsa for Halloween, and from that point on I just started doing fundraisers and charity events, and sooner than later I became every Disney princess and opened up a princess business and also a wish program for sick children. And I've met so many different people and so many ill children, and it really changed my life completely. And I would say, like, I think the best thing about cosplay for me, besides the whole children part, is this right here. And meeting these people and just doing this together as a group is a million times greater than doing it yourself.
I was having lunch, dude, a break. Friend texted me and he said, "Hey, there's this convention happening. You want to go?" I said, "Yeah, sure." He said, "Where's it at?" I said, "The Jacob Javits." I said, "Okay, I'll go." So I go that Saturday, and I'm like, wow, this is something. I'm like, and I'm thinking, wow, everybody's in costume. This is cool. I said, it's not costume. It's actually cosplay. I said, oh, so what's cosplay? Cosplay, that's, you put your heart and soul into a character that you love and have a passion for. And ever since then, I think I've met the best people ever in the cosplay community. There's some of the nicest, greatest people you'll ever meet. And I was like, I'm here to stay. It's like, as soon as it's not fun anymore, that's when I'll stop. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. And the fact that how big it's gotten and how much of an impact it's made in what, like what we do, charity work, that you make a kid happy, a kid that's sick, you go to the hospital and visit them, and you put a smile on their face. I think that's the most beautiful thing anybody could do.
Though is don't follow popular, follow what you love. I actually love creating original designs out of things. Nobody knew who the hell Flareon was. Everyone was like, what is that? But it's cool. So I actually got way more people loving and talking to me about Flareon when I wore her than when I wore Tracer, which everyone knew. And I was like, that's ironic. But then I actually took a hiatus because New York Comic Con was very scary for me, and it actually kind of drove me off of cosplay and the community. And then only, November of last year did I hop on back in, and I just kind of took it from there. But it's definitely, I find cosplay a lot of really finding yourself while you get to find really great people, and that's a really great add-on. And seeing cosplay come forward, it's a lot of learning about yourself and always remembering to love yourself and not always push what everyone thinks is popular. And the reason that cosplay, especially for anyone you buy, but especially for me since I make a lot of my cosplays, is remembering to do it for yourself, because you're the one who gets to wear it at the end of the day. You're the one who gets to perform in it.
And I have come onto the cosplay scene because of a girl at a hospital. I'm a nurse, and I had to give injections to some patients at a peds department, and this girl kept refusing to get her injection, and
be a part of. It's now very cool.
Yeah, you get to really be yourself. You get to express yourself. You get to be the character you always wanted to be.
Yeah.
And for the people that aren't dressing up, they're getting to meet the character that they admire. So, you're not really going to get that anywhere else.
Can I ask, no shame if you were a popular kid growing up, but I was never a popular kid. I was the kid in the back of the class reading a book with barely any friends, just reading comic books or, whatever it was, and, getting bullied and things like that. So when you go to a con now, doesn't it feel like good?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I think too, a lot of people that might have looked at you and said oh, why are you doing that? They secretly did want to do it, but they didn't have the confidence in themselves maybe to take a step out of their own comfort zone and just do it. But it's a little different now. We're doing it, we're having so much fun, and people look at us and say, man, I want to do that, and then they do, and they have so much fun. Or they get involved in the scene some other way. Especially I think Marvel superheroes have really been a wonderful introduction for a lot of people into this sort of scene, so I think it's great. It's up and coming. Absolutely.
Can I ask especially for those who've been cosplaying or have been going to the cons I'd say for 3+ years, what is the biggest change you've seen in the con scene with regards to cosplay?
The biggest change.
Biggest change.
I will say for sure, my first.
You haven't been alive.
I may look like I'm 5 years
still
old.
more than 3 years.
But when I went with him when he was Jason for his first Comic-Con, there was a good amount of people there, and then we went last year, and it was just hectic. It was just crazy.
Your sardines in a can, basically.
More and more people start going to cons, and it really shows how much it's.
Now when I'm dressed as Thanos, people move out my way.
They have to.
I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like, 10 years ago, if I went to a con, there were people in super expensive professional costumes and then just Party City costumes.
Yeah.
And now I feel like there's such a range.
Yes.
Where people
Also-
are putting together.
Yeah, and I also feel like cosplayers are at a point where they're gaining a celebrity status.
Yes.
People are actually afraid to talk to you, and there's also a lot of money to be is being made in cosplay. It's a total shift. It used to just be oh, this is a hobby. This is becoming people's actual careers.
Is there anything that you'd like to say about how cosplay has negatively impacted the con scene?
Yeah.
There's a lot. I said earlier, for better or for worse, there is a lot of. Emma, you were saying that it was a toxic environment.
Yeah, it can be.
Well, there's so many people doing it, and there's, as I was thinking about a lot of there's from this and there's all the way up to the job level, and if you really love it, sometimes you want to strive for that and then that just can eat you alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
if you let it. I mean, Instagram is great. It can also eat you alive.
Yes.
Absolutely eat you alive. It was eating me alive for a while, and that's why I was like, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
why did I get into this? Because I enjoyed it. It was fun. I love crafting. And
So they use it.
It's a cover.
I'm gonna cosplay to get this many followers because I can. You know, they use their body, they use whatever. They'll put on a X-Men wristwatch.
That's what I
and
used
then
to say
the rest
all
of
the time.
the rest of them
It's
is
a
like
bikini with a dark
right,
hair.
and then like I'm rogue
There's
and like
line too.
no, you're not rogue.
Well, now, so
That's
this is a
actually
very.
a rule of mine. I see a cosplay doing that on Instagram, I will never follow them.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say.
Bikini, no. For sure.
Never put on a
I don't want this to be.
You have a
to be
Patreon?
misinterpreted.
Yeah, don't
Wait,
misinterpret
this
what
is-
I'm
this is-
saying.
I
This
don't want
very-
this to be misinterpreted
Yeah.
that that I don't support other cosplayers and things like that, but I mean, like I said, like you could take a look at all of these people and every single one of us, even if we didn't make all of our costumes, we've saved for them, we have planned for them, we have put heart and soul into this. So it is, I have to be a little insulted when someone is walking around in a G-string and a Darth Vader mask and they're like, Star Wars. Like, it's just,
It's a touchy subject.
It's
It's definitely touchy. I think what Rebecca was saying, when you have an environment where everyone is super passionate, there's always going to be high-strung
Yeah.
feelings. But I think what you can take from this is there's a lot of discussion, controversial discussion about body image, about what is how to define cosplay. It has brought a lot of questions. And if I can say anything positive about that, it's starting discussions that maybe weren't there before.
yeah, definitely.
So you can be on one side or the other, but you're talking about it. And I think that is the most important thing.
It bothers me so much that I had to affiliate myself with no trolling and no
Yes, hate.
hate stuff, anything.
Oh, my goodness,
My
there's so much of
account
it.
is what I like to call a safe cyber account. If you comment on anything of mine and someone else is bugging you about it or is putting derogatory comments or anything, I will delete it immediately.
Tell me what you see in her. Let's have that discussion, because that's where I was coming from
I love
not
that.
too long ago.
Well, I think that's interesting though, is that a lot of characters sometimes if research is not done, which is then done of course by a cosplayer, someone who's really in love with the character, they can get a different persona and people can think different things of them. I can personally say an example such as Harley Quinn. Right off the bat, many people see her also as another symbol and that she's just crazy, but if you actually dive in deeper to the past
much
comics
deeper
and things,
than that.
there's domestic violence, she's an emotional abuser, survivor, she has all of these things that she's actually come out of, and she's actually a pretty strong woman for it. She's a little crazy, but she's actually a strong woman for it. But people don't see that right off the bat. They think you're just, and some people are just cosplaying her for the image, and that's fine. But those who actually get to know the character, you get to know this deeper meaning and actually behind it, and that may be a reason why you decide you would want to cosplay them as well.
I love that.
Let's take some videos. Got Miles over here, Bronx Spidey, what up?
I'm tired.
Who we got over here? Peggy?
Hi. Cutie patootie.
That's
Tell me about yourself. She's Donna. So queen over here.
got the whole Avengers over here. Little Hawkeye. Black Widow.
What up?
Grace?